Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic sprint review. Sprint review is basically a key event in the Scrum framework. Scrum framework is based on the Agile project management approach in which we divide the work into multiple chunks that is called as sprint. Sprint is a 3 to 4 week time period in which we deliver the work to the customer in a incremental or the adaptive approach basis. That means, for example, if there are 40 tasks, so we divide the work into 4 sprints, for example, and each sprint will contain 10 tasks, and with each sprint we deliver the work to the customer. The sprint review meeting means that once the for example 10 tasks which we have taken it for the sprint, if that task have been completed, so we demonstrate the work to the customer and get his feedback and his opinion. In that way, basically sprint review involve collaboration and feedback from the stakeholders, providing transparency into the project progress. Let me give you an example of a sprint review. For example, you are working for an e-commerce solution in which we have to make the product catalog, the payment module, the administrative module, for example. In the first sprint we have completed the product catalog section, for example. Now the after once the sprint review sprint completed, so we demonstrate the work that how the product catalog will look like in the e-commerce solution. It is a working solution, that means it is a working software which we have to demonstrate to the customer, to the product owner, and we have to get his feedback, his opinion as well. So basically customer will see the working software, that how actually the software is working, and this is the software which has like all the things like database, application, all those things should be in a working condition when we are demonstrating to the customer. It also involves the transparency in the project progress as well, because customer will see the actual application, actual working software, so his opinion, his feedback is very important. So first thing is the timing and frequency. A sprint review basically takes place at the end of the each sprint before the sprint retrospective. The retrospective is basically a session in which we basically it's a, you can say, a post-mortem session in which we basically discuss that what things went well, what things went wrong, and what are the things which we can improve. So the duration of the sprint review is a time box which is about 4 hours for a 1 month sprint. So this is the timing and frequency. Frequency means that after every sprint, and timing is 4 hours generally for a 1 month sprint. Participants, the Scrum team, including like for example the development team, for example software developers, designers, the product owner is basically another very important role. The stakeholders, the Scrum master, all those stakeholders, all those important persons, including customers and user management, and anyone else with an interest in the product will participate in this sprint review meeting. The objective of the sprint review is to demonstrate the work which has been completed during the sprint and gather feedback from stakeholders as well. So that basically, friend, sprint review is very important, because once you will get the feedback from the customer, especially from the customer, so you know that what things went well, what are the things are basically customer like, and what are the things which he doesn't like. So obviously you can align your work accordingly as well. Friend, we know that also this is very important that we get the feedback from customer at a very early stage of a project. Like normally in generally in the waterfall approach, we get the feedback from the customer once the project is finishing. But however, in the sprint review in the Scrum framework, we get the feedback from the customer at a very early stage during this sprint review session. Sprint review agenda. First thing is the product increment demonstration. That means the development team, Scrum development team, showcases the work which has been completed during the sprint, and this demonstration should include new features, enhancements, and other work done. So whatever the work which has been completed in the sprint, it has been showcased by the development team to the stakeholders, especially to the customer and the product owner. Product backlog review. Here the product owner discusses the status of the product backlog. Product backlog is basically the complete set of features which we are working to complete for a product. Any potential changes and potential priorities based on the latest information and feedback. So basically the product owner, who is basically the custodian of the product backlog as well, he basically review the product backlog, and if any changes are required in the backlog, he can do it. Then collaborative discussion. Stakeholders, especially from the customer side, actively participate in the discussions, providing their feedback on the feature set and sharing their insights about the functionality. This interaction is very crucial for aligning the product with the stakeholder expectations. Feedback and potential adjustments. Based on the feedback received from the customer, the Scrum team discusses potential adjustments to the product backlog or the overall project plan as well. If there are any changes required, if there are any changes received from the customer, they can accommodate, they can adopt it accordingly. Key principles. First is the transparency. Friend, the sprint review promotes the transparency, means that the actual status of the product progress will be showcased, and there should not be any ambiguity, and there should not be any ambiguity in the things. Like, all the things should be transparent. Inspection. Stakeholder basically review the work, give their feedback, help the Scrum team understand the current status of the project, and basically it's a way of inspection for the product for which we are working. Adaptation means the Scrum team uses the feedback received from the customer, from the product owner, and other stakeholder, like from the business team, and adopt and adjust their plans for the next sprint as well. For example, whatever the feedback which has been received, they can adjust it in the next sprint. Output. The main output of the sprint review is an updated product backlog, reflecting any changes in priorities, requirements, and insights gained during this session. The Scrum team might also update their definition of done based on the feedback received. Done means that what is the criteria at which we can consider that this work has been completed. Follow-up actions means that any action items which has been decided, like for example any changes, improvements in the functionalities, like if there are any things which has been discussed, so all the action items must be documented and addressed in subsequent sprint planning or backlog refinement session. Backlog means again the features which we are working, which we have to deliver it for the customer. So friend, by conducting sprint review regularly, the Scrum team ensures that the product is continuously aligned with the stakeholder expectations, and any necessary adjustments are made to maximize the value delivered. So friend, thank you. Thanks a lot for watching.